So The Amazing Maurice is another example of a very popular novel being turned into an animation, except this time it is really brilliant and it's definitely a film for all ages, as it's got some pretty dark moments in there and it's just such an enjoyable movie. What is up everybody? Welcome back to my channel Lifestyle Critic. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So in this video we are going to be reviewing The Amazing Maurice / The Amazing Maurice, which is a computer animated dark fantasy comedy movie based on the incredibly popular Terry Pratchett novel. And I absolutely love animated movies, and in particular I really enjoyed this film as it's really gripping. Like I just said, it's definitely for all ages. It's got some truly shocking moments in there. The animation looks absolutely beautiful. It's really funny. And there are some unexpected moments in this movie as well, which is all really great. And I cannot wait to break it down with you in this movie review. So as the name would suggest, we're quickly introduced to Maurice / Maurice, who is a talking, self-loving, exuberant cat who teams up with a group of talking rats and their human friend. And at first, they begin conning a lot of different towns out of a lot of cash, and then very quickly find themselves embroiled in a bit of an adventure mystery. And on that point, it definitely feels like those classic point-and-click adventure games. If you're a fan of those, then you'll really enjoy The Amazing Maurice, as it really does feel like you're immersed within this world. So let's go through this movie from a positives point of view first. So I have to say, from an animation catalogue point of view, this movie feels really different in terms of both its style and execution, and it's really great as a result, and it's got some hilarious, funny moments from pretty much all of the cast members. It's really well fast-paced. It goes through its storyline material really quickly, so it's super engaging, and it's also really gripping. There are some shocking things that take place in this movie, and you're immediately re-hooked because of that. And if you've ever watched the classic, awesome animated CITV series Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids, then it's definitely got a bit of a vibe from that. And if you're wondering why these particular group of rats and this particular cat can talk, then as this movie progresses, it does explain that. And I do think it is actually pretty faithful to its Terry Pratchett source material. However, from a negative point of view, not much of a negative criticism. All I would say is that it does introduce some really intriguing concepts in this movie, and all I would have wanted is just for them to have delved into them and explored them a little bit more. For example, they introduce the Pied Piper, and they do everything that they need to do with this character to make it sufficient for his inclusion in this film. But I do think they could have pushed certain things like that a little bit further. But that being said, on the whole, the storyline in this movie is really brilliant. So I absolutely love animations, as all of the voice actors really are able to just give their all in their performances. And I have to say, Amazing Maurice is no different, and it really does celebrate British talent in particular in this movie. So let's go through them one by one. So first up we have Hugh Laurie, who brilliantly voices Amazing Maurice / Amazing Maurice, a true full of himself cat that actually shares a lot of screen time with the rats. I was a little bit surprised by this, as I thought they would have given a lot more presence and storyline material to Maurice. And don't get me wrong, he does have a lot of screen time in this movie and does do a lot of hilarious things, especially across this film. But like I said, I would have expected a little bit more from it. But you know, I do love the unlikely alliance between the cat and all of these rats. We've also got Emilia Clarke, who is so wicked as Emilia. She is not only the narrator of this movie, but also plays a big part in this film as a really independent woman who absolutely loves mysteries and just loves this particular adventure mystery. I feel like she bounces off Himesh Patel's Keith character really brilliantly. I feel like those two are such a great duo. And also this character is really layered in her own right, so she's got a lot to her. And actually I feel like she, because of that, is just a really great narrator in this film. Speaking of Himesh Patel, I love the fact that he is also part of the triangle with Amazing Maurice, all of the rats, and his character Keith. And he is a true underdog, and you're really rooting for this guy. We've also got Hugh Bonneville in this movie. I feel like he is in all of the classic British films. He doesn't do that much in this movie. He's the mayor, and he plays Melicia's father. But outside of that, he doesn't do that much in this movie. David Thewlis is just such a brilliant actor in terms of playing these villainous characters. And his voice, firstly, is just so instantly recognizable. And I feel like he just brings such a dark edge to the boss man character, who has such a great twist in this movie as well. And I have to say, David Thewlis just brings so much to this character. Then we have all of the other talking rats. So they have got some wicked voice actors here as well. So we've got David Tennant, Gemma Arterton, and Joe Sugg playing all of these different rat characters. And they are just so good. You're really rooting for them, which I was not expecting to do going into this movie. And actually, they have the most emotional moments in this movie, and they are just such a great pack, and individually they're really, really different as well. So like I said, they are just sharing so much screen time with all of the other characters, and in some ways you could argue that the main storyline of this movie is to do with the rats, which is just really, really surprising. But I have to say, as a whole, this ensemble group of voice actors and characters are just so wicked. So from a visuals point of view, I have to say the Amazing Maurice is just very, very strong. It's really, really distinctive in a really crowded market, and I feel like as a result it's able to really stand on its own. And it's actually got some pretty scary and chilling moments in this movie, as a number of characters do actually die in this film. So I do actually feel like it's pretty sophisticated in its storytelling mechanic, and this is really heightened because the visuals just add so much more dimension to all of this. So I have to say, from a visual cinematography point of view, this movie is actually looking pretty spectacular. So from a comparisons point of view, like I said, there are a number of awesome other animated movies that have recently been released that are actually pretty similar to The Amazing Maurice. So I do think it's a lot stronger than the first Puss in Boots movie, and I would put it on the same level as the sequel, The Last Wish. I guess you can also compare it to How to Train Your Dragon series. I also think it's a lot stronger than Garfield, and probably on the same level as Paws of Fury, but not as good as DC League of Super Pets, which is just absolutely formidable. But I do think it's a lot stronger than Disney's latest movie, Strange World. So from a comparisons point of view, The Amazing Maurice sits in really great company. So overall, I have to say, I actually really, really enjoyed The Amazing Maurice. Going into this movie, I wasn't sure what to expect from it, but I was really pleasantly surprised by it. As like I said, the storytelling was really, really sophisticated. I feel like this group of characters are really, really intriguing. It's got some really shocking moments, and I think it's brilliantly and very cleverly executed. And I think it's going to be one of those movies that definitely does stick with you for a long time after you've watched it, and I'm really hopeful that they do sign off on a sequel, as I feel like we really need to see what's going to happen next with all of these brilliant ensemble group of characters. But as far as the first The Amazing Maurice movie is concerned, I have to give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. Now I'd love to hear what you thought of this film, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.